Hi, I'm Paige Thomsen, Registered Dietitian with Stony Health Services, and today we're going to go over some grocery tips on how to make nutritious meals affordable. As we head in, we want to make sure that we have our bags ready to go, and we also want to make sure that we're well fed so that we can reduce impulse buys and make healthy choices. Okay, so over here in the bins is usually where No Frills will keep some of their sales. And today we have some cucumbers, 3 for $5, for $4.99. Is this a good deal? We have the cucumbers that are over here. They are going to be double the amount as the ones over in the other coupon section. You're going to be getting 7 cucumbers for $8 instead of only getting 3 for $5. And if we were going to look at the cucumbers when we're just buying one at a time, it's going to be $2.30 per cucumber, $2.29. So, or we could have 3 cucumbers for $5, which would work out to maybe around $1.75. So that's a good deal. Or we could do $8 for 7 cucumbers, and that's looking like just over $1 per cucumber. Not many people know about the different vegetables that are available to kind of go in place of potatoes. They can even be more affordable. One option is something called jicama, spelled with a J. So jicama, you would just peel it the same way you would a potato, you cut it the same way, and you can just roast it right in the oven, and it will have more nutrition than just a regular potato, and it can be more affordable. So leafy greens that are in your diet don't always have to be spinach or kale. They can be things that add a lot of flavor. You can just chop up cilantro and place it right into your ramen or your instant noodles for a nice flavor booster. One thing that's common is the cost of berries. Berries can be pretty pricey, and it's good to look at the prices here that will have $4.99 for a small thing of raspberries, or we have the $8.99 for these blueberries. We can see how the frozen vegetables might be a better decision. So these blueberries here were on sale for $5 for just about 500 grams at most in this pint. We can grab something like these blueberries here that are going to be $13 for 2 kilograms. So that means that's going to be 500 grams plus 500 grams plus 500 grams plus 500 grams. So this is a much better deal because instead of it being $20 like it would be if it was this product, it's only going to be $13, saving you $7 in the long run by buying frozen. So it's good for when you're looking at the meat section to find out where the deals are. So we can see here that there's going to be the honey ham for $4.49. And that one is going to be for 200 grams. Let's look at some other options. So if we're looking here at the sliced cooked ham or the smoked sliced bologna, these two are the same price. When we look here though, we can see that we're going to be getting much more protein from the ham, 8 grams here, and less saturated fat than the bologna. It's interesting also that for bologna, we can see that the first ingredient is mechanically separated chicken. And then you'll have some pork stop and some extra additives in there. Whereas the cooked ham has less additives put in there, and it's just going to be pork. So let's take a look at bacon now. So here we have some bacon, and it is smoked bacon from a pork product. So this is going to be $6.99 for the 375 grams. But we could also go for something like a turkey bacon. It's going to be the 375 grams as well, and it's going to be even cheaper. It's going to be 50 cents cheaper with less additives, less calories, and more protein there. Great option. When we are comparing both the turkey bacon and the regular bacon, we can see that there's going to be, almost for the same amount of protein, that there's going to be 3 times as much calories in the regular bacon with more sodium. And those calories are going to be coming from saturated fat, which is an issue to look at. It's something that is going to put more strain on your heart and is going to put you at risk for other chronic conditions when we consume saturated fat in such a large amount. So ground beef and meat products can be a little bit pricey. I'm going to teach you ways that you can spread out how much meat that you have to make by adding in some other ingredients as well. One thing to kind of take a peek at is if you're going to be making a meal this day, you can use products that have the 50% off to use for the family for big meals. These little pizza crusts are great for making own personal pizzas. You can just put on some tomato sauce, some cheese, and season it the way that you like. And for a quick and easy meal, that's going to be much more affordable than going to get pizza out. This is baby infant cereal, and what's really great about this is that you can add this, just a sprinkle of this powdered oat formula, to some of your oat recipes, to pancakes, to your own bannock, so that you can actually add in a lot more iron to your meals. As we can see here on the label, you'll see that the iron is going to be 64% of your day's worth just in 5 teaspoons. So just add it to things like your smoothies or your oats for a quick and easy iron source. So when I'm looking for granola bars, what I really like to do is make sure that I'm choosing a granola bar that is going to be low in added sugar. So these Made Good granola bars are a really great option for a family. They're only $3.49. And when we look at the label here, we can see that it's got a lot of added nutrients in there. So a lot of your vitamin A, your vitamin C, and even vitamin D for kids to have some good nutrition and a portable snack. We have the Nature Valley Sweet and Salty and those Made Good bars I was talking about before. When we kind of put them head to head, we can see that they do have similar amounts of sugar in them, but there's going to be those added vitamins in the Made Good bars, and there's going to be a lot less fat to them as well. And when we look at the ingredients, the first ingredient for the sweet and salty bars is going to be sugar, versus the ingredients for the Made Good bars are actually going to be oats. When it comes to yogurt, we have a ton of options, and what's best is to choose a yogurt that is nice and high in protein. So these activity yogurts are going to be a little bit lower. Let's head over to the Greek yogurt. So there are the different brands of Greek yogurt here, and it's really hard to define which is going to be the best deal with what size, because we have smaller sizes, larger sizes, and then the tubs. What I like to look at is something called the unit price. The unit price is going to tell you how much it costs per 100 grams to make that easier. So you'll be looking at what is going to be the lowest unit price. This one we'll say is 0.84 per 100 grams. That's pretty low, but let's take a look at this tub. This tub says 0.79 per 100 grams. This one would be the better deal. Oftentimes, there's a lot of people that are in the community that have issues with tolerating lactose. Lactose is a type of sugar that can be in milk. So it's great to grab an option that doesn't have any lactose in it. One option that's much more affordable than even the regular milk is going to be this Lactania milk. And it is ultra pasteurized, which means that there isn't going to be any lactose to it, and there's much more protein in it. So when we look on the side here, we can see that there's going to be 14 grams of protein for 1 cup, only 9 grams of sugar, and all these added vitamins and minerals. Particularly, we want to have sources of vitamin D and calcium. So when it comes to oils, something that you want to try and do is choose your oils that are in darker containers, because then they will be less oxidized by the light. So it kind of keeps the vitamins locked in a little bit longer when it's in a dark bottle. You also want to look for it saying that it's been cold extracted or cold pressed. This is a way to kind of keep those vitamins in as well, instead of them being extracted from the seed at a really high heat. All right, when it comes to choosing pasta, there's tons of different options we can choose from. This one here is only $2.14, and this one here, the no-name brand, is going to be $2.29. What's interesting about this one is that it is going to have a bunch of added vitamins and protein in there so that you can be feeling your best all day long. One of the big highlights is that it is a great source of iron. It's going to have 17% of your day's worth of iron, and it's also going to have 11 grams of protein. This is a great option for new moms who need to have a carb at their meal that will keep them satisfied but also have the nutrition they need. If we were going to look at the rice that's here, the rice is much more expensive than the pasta is, and the rice isn't going to have any protein really to it, only 4 grams for the serving. And no added nutrition in the vitamins and minerals section. Pasta would be a much better option to go for. As an alternative to rice, you can go for something like orzo. Orzo is a pasta product that has much more iron and much more protein in it to keep you satisfied with your meals. So this is something that could be an option for anybody that wants to substitute rice, and you'll just be boiling a pot of water, throwing in the orzo, and then leaving it for 10 minutes, and there you go. So as I mentioned, ground beef and meat products that are a little bit on the pricier side, you have options for spreading them out over multiple meals or stretching out to feed the entire family by adding things like lentils to it. So for example, a chili or a bolognese sauce, you can add in some lentils, just open up the can, drain it, rinse it, and then add it right into your ground beef so that you can have some protein as well, but also lots of added fiber too. Alright, so when it comes to instant noodles, these can be some products for quick and easy meals where all you have to do is add hot water. For this one, the deal is 4 for $4, so that would be $1 per serving. But there are some healthier options that are just as quick and easy. If we head down over here, we can see there's the vermicelli or rice noodles. So there's only going to be $2 for all of this, which could give us 8 servings. So what you do with the vermicelli noodles is you'll just boil the hot water, or you'll put the noodles into the water, and then you just heat it up and it's ready in 2 minutes. So as an alternative to the instant noodles, you can have the rice noodles here that you just immerse in water or hot water, add some beef broth to that, and then you can have some leftover chicken from the night before or some beef, and then just add in some frozen veggies for a really quick and nutritious meal that's super affordable. When it comes to looking for cereals, we want to really pay attention to the amount of sugar that could be in these cereals and the price. Cold cereals are going to be more expensive than hot cereals, so we want to choose a version that is still going to impact our health in a great way. When choosing something like Raisin Bran, it's marketed as being very high in fiber and looking very nutritious. However, when we look at the label, we can see that there are 14 grams of sugar. Those 14 grams of sugar are like adding paper to a fire. It burns very quickly, but it's not going to keep you satisfied or keep your fire burning bright for very long. So let's try to find one a little bit lower in sugar. When we look at something like the toasted O's, we can see here that per cup, it's actually only going to have 1 gram of sugar. That's it. As opposed to the 14 grams that were in the Raisin brand. That looks like 3 teaspoons of sugar versus less than 1 in just the toasted O's. You can even add in your own sugar if you wanted to. Put on some sliced banana for that added sweetness. So when we're buying peanut butter or any kind of nut butter, you don't have to choose some of the more expensive brands. These organic labels are more about the sources and about the ethics behind the companies, which is great to support, but we can find some healthy alternatives as well. As I mentioned, I wanted to go over some tips with buying different nut butters. The organic peanut butters are a little bit more expensive, and this is some options that we can go over. So for the Kraft peanut butter, this Kraft peanut butter is $5.99. This other Kraft peanut butter is also $5.99, but there are some key differences to look at. When we're looking at this regular Kraft peanut butter, we can see that on the ingredients list, it will have roasted peanuts, but also added oils and added sugars. So really what the company is doing is selling the healthy, beneficial peanut oil and filling it with a less healthy oil instead. For this peanut butter, for the same price, you're getting just peanuts. And that is going to have a lot more vitamin E, and it's going to have a lot less of the harmful oils that have been linked to heart disease. So when it comes to energy drinks can be extremely expensive for what they are. We're looking at almost $3 for each energy drink you see here, whereas we could be having $3 meals, whether it's going to be pasta, it could be KD, it could be something quick and easy. So we want to grab a drink that's going to be much more affordable and not leave us with a big energy spike and a crash afterwards. When we're taking a look at something like an energy drink, we want to pay attention to the sugar that can be in certain drinks that we buy. For this one, it says that it has 54 grams of sugar. If you divide that by 4, you'll get the number of teaspoons of sugar that would be in this product. And that's going to equate to 18 teaspoons of sugar in just this can. So imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 18 teaspoons of sugar just in this one can. So as opposed to doing an energy drink to keep your energy levels up, I would recommend having a meal. For the same price as that energy drink, you could be getting a pizza that's going to have a lot less sugar in it, and it's going to have a little bit of protein. It will have some fat and some added sodium, but this is going to be something that will keep you sustained for a longer period of time for your energy levels. Alright, for a quick and refreshing drink, we have different options here. There could be Coca-Cola, there's going to be something like maybe even an iced tea, or there can be juices. So for $1.49 there's juice, for $1.99 there's iced tea, and for $6.49 is the Coca-Cola. When we're looking at how to compare this from a nutrition point, we want to look at the sugar. So the Coca-Cola is going to have 41 grams of sugar. So that looks like 10 teaspoons for just a cup. Versus when we're looking at something like iced tea, it's going to have 29 grams of sugar in 1 cup. So there's a little bit less there. So it could be a better option, and it's more affordable. The last one here is something like a juice. So it's $1.49, and it is only going to have 25 grams of sugar with a couple extra vitamins in there, like vitamin C. So this could also be a quick and easy option too. So for people that aren't a big fan of the soda waters, there is a different option for adding a little bit of sweetness, and that's by having something like a juice and adding it to the soda water. So something like a lime sparkling water with a little bit of the pineapple juice could be a really refreshing option with a lot less sugar in it. I wanted to go over a quick and easy snack that you can add in right to any kind of thing like yogurt, meals like such as salads or even smoothies, where you can get a huge boost of magnesium. Pumpkin seeds are something that will have 43% of your day's worth of magnesium in just 3/4 of a cup with 9 grams of protein as well. Sick. So for $1.99, you can get beans with tomato sauce on them. What's really nice about this is that all you have to do is crack this can open and you can get 15 grams of protein in just a cup with 28% of your day's worth of iron. This can accompany something like chili, or it can go on the side of chicken and rice for something that can really boost the iron in the meal. So over here we have the craft dinners. They're $2.29 for a box. Versus if we go down over to the other pastas here, we can grab a bag of macaroni for $1.79 to get much more servings out of it. The big benefit here is that you're going to be getting that added iron, that added protein, and more out of it with just doing the same skills. You're going to be boiling water and placing the pasta in there, same as you would do for the craft dinner. Have a lot larger flake oats. When you do the quick oats, it's been processed even more, so it's kind of like how much is going to be impacting your blood sugar. So the steel cut oats would be what's going to need the longest cook time, but it will impact your blood sugar the slowest in the best way and stabilize it, versus something like the large flakes oats is going to be a little bit less, and then the quick oats are going to be quick. All right, we got our groceries. It's time to head back to the office. Today, we're at No Frills in Cochrane, going over ways that we can spend money on groceries in a nutritious way. No, I'm freezing. I just don't want to take it off. Like that. Protein-rich meal to accompany your items. And then you can even just add in some chopped veggies or frozen veggies. Okay.
What? Say that again.
So what you can do instead of having the okay. So for a quick and easy meal, immerse the rice noodles and cook them in a hot water, and then put them and mix them with the chicken broth. Actually, can you hold on for one? These waffles here can be a much more
buckwheat.
They got much more buckwheat, more fiber in them. There you go. Nailed it. Look how much manganese is in this. And riboflavin?
Your thumbs in
That's about it. Okay, I'm done.